Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm really good. So, Teresa, thank you so much for being on the call. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about your crazy COVID experience. Like you were traveling through Indonesia, right, when this all happened?
Yeah, I'd been traveling for a while, thank God, when this happened. And at the time, I was in Indonesia when it all started getting, well, heavier and heavier. And I went to Bali and I decided to go to Lombok, which is the island next to it. And the day I arrived to Lombok, all the borders closed to Lombok. So I was in a, well, if any of you have been in a paradise island by myself, basically, because everyone was leaving and no one was coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just ideal. But the situation back home, I'm from Spain, was very different. From Madrid, which is even worse. The big pandemics was going on, and people were telling me to rush home, to rush home. And of course, I didn't want to rush home because I was in a paradise island by myself
And how long have
um,
you been traveling for?
since October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I left my job in September and then I started traveling and I went to Morocco, to India, to Sri Lanka, and then Indonesia.
Mm-hmm. And so you're in Lombok, loving it, paradise.
Mhm.
Have people telling you all about COVID, get out, and what did you do?
Well, after a call with my mom crying, I thought it was time to maybe start going home. So I checked for flights, and it turned out it wasn't that easy to get back because the flights were being canceled. There were very few little airlines. The flights were very expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I decided to book one, and in a week's time, I slowly started to make my way back to Europe.
Mm.
But all my flights were basically canceled one by one, and I had a 8-hour wait in Bali. Then I went to Qatar. In Qatar, my flight got canceled, and ended up 24 hours basically in Qatar, sleeping on the floor in an airport, international airport, with no mask, no gloves, nothing. So many people coming in and out. People from China full covered up, and I'm thinking, okay, if I didn't have COVID, I definitely have COVID now.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got on the flight to Madrid, and I arrived fine. So
And how was it in the plane and things like that? Were people with masks in the plane, or how was the situation?
I counted, and me and another girl, we were the only ones in the whole flight, a big, flight, a 10-hour flight, without masks.
Okay.
So everyone had masks and gloves and air gels. Like they were cleaning everything every time, every screen they came around to clean it. In the airport, they were cleaning everything, every stair where you put your hand, like everything, all the time sterilized. It was very surreal.
I can imagine. Definitely not like a beach in Lombok, no?
No, no, no. It's good I had that time to start thinking, okay, I'm coming back to a pandemic world.
Yeah, and so you arrived back into Madrid.
Yeah, and my dad arrived at the airport fully covered up, even goggles. I didn't hug him or kiss him or my mom for 14 days. I hadn't seen them since January. And I got put in the back seat of the car, which was all put with plastic stuff. My bag in a different plastic bag in the boot. And I was just sat there, got given a mask and gloves. I got stripped down to my underwear at home, got given a gown, all my clothes outside, all my bag outside, and said, go straight in the shower, showered. And then I got treated like as if I had COVID. So luckily I never did, or I never got symptoms anyway,
Hmm.
but we had to do it that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then 14 days later, you came out and you could give your mum and dad a hug.
Yeah, so I was, yeah, locked in my room for 14 days and then I left. Yeah.
Right. And so now this is now post COVID now, and you're gonna start working as a chiropractor again.
Yeah, hopefully soon when things start opening up properly, and I'll be working here in Madrid as a chiropractor.
Oh, that should be good.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to like go back and finish your travel, or you're like just letting that phase go, or what do you think?
So it was a big scar in my heart because I had flights to Australia actually that I got cancelled.
Mm,
And I do feel like I haven't finished, but I know now is not the time. So I will work as a chiropractor for as long, I love my job, thankfully. So for as long as as things settle down. And if I still feel this urge to keep traveling, I will. And maybe it's gone by the time, then it's okay, you know,
Yeah.
that's life.
Hey, Teresa, why don't you just quickly tell us too, whilst you're in Sri Lanka, you worked, didn't you do some work in an orphanage or something like that? What was that? Was that what you were doing in Sri Lanka?
It was in India, yeah.
In India, sorry.
Yeah, it's a group of carpers called Karma Life. They started two brothers. They're half Indian, half Finnish. And they do voluntary work there. Well, he lives there. One of them lives there every 6 months a year.
Mm-hmm.
And they do voluntary work every 3 months or so. They go to different orphanage in India, mainly in the west coast, southwest coast of India. So from Goa down and up to Mumbai. And we went to see different orphanages with kids with problems, like severe problems, developmental problems, to just simple ADHD or problematic families. And we went to one really interesting one in Mumbai. We went to Mother Teresa. You know, she has different houses in India. And that's people that literally just walk from the street in. So in any state, anybody is welcome, everybody is welcome. Mm-hmm. So the things we saw there were not little Indian kids, you know, with a little bit of problems. They were other things, you know, they were crawling, most of them through, bleeding, things like this. So very, very shocking. Yes.
Yeah. And how did they respond to your care? Like, how did you find people?
It was amazing. It was amazing to see, because a part of me thought, okay, how much impact are we making? No, you always have this question when you go and do some voluntary work. But sometimes we went 2 days and you could see changes in their bodies, in their nervous system. We were teaching them as well some kind of like neurological exercises. Even the teachers were telling us, you know, this feedback we got. And I don't know, it's amazing what chiropractic does. Even just one adjustment is so much better than none.
Yeah. Well, tell us about it. I mean, I haven't been getting adjusted, and I'm dying to get adjusted, you know.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have chiropractic at home.
Family,
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Teresa. That was really cool. And I mean, COVID, it just like put you on another course, no?
Yes, exactly. Forced me to come back home.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Where everybody is happy about that, at least.
Yes, exactly. Some people say you wouldn't have come back otherwise. So
no,
it's good I'm back.
And don't worry, Australia's always going to be there. You'll get there.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so.
Thanks, Teresa.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.